44,000 steps, one churro, and zero hip pain. Here's the midlife game plan I used to pull it off. Hey everyone, welcome back to Healthy Her Midlife. I am Christine. I am a certified holistic nutritionist and the creator of this channel and the blog healthyhermidlife.com. About 3.5 years ago, I visited the happiest place on earth, Disneyland, and we were there for one day from the rope drop to the very closing end of the day, and my hip was hurting so bad, I swore I would never do that again. But I am a Disney freak at heart. I mean, all the lights, the parades, the song, even Small World ride, I love. So when the opportunity came up this spring to hit the happiest place on earth, I could not pass it up. I had to do it. And here is how it went. So the first thing I did was I prepped before the trip. And I don't mean just bringing snacks and making sure I had a water bottle and making sure I had a backpack. Like, that's all given stuff. But I made sure I had the best shoes for me for walking 22,000 steps a day with a bad hip. So that meant also that I needed to put together an exercise plan that would strengthen the muscles that support my hip. And I did that about 3 to 4 weeks before the trip. And I started working on strengthening those muscles every day, building up some more endurance with longer walks every day as well. I also got in the kitchen and I made the chocolate peanut butter energy balls that are on the blog, and I will put a link in the description notes on this video so that you can go and check out that recipe. It is full of whole foods, plant-based goodness, and lots of protein, and it really kept us energized in the morning, because one of the things that we did was we skipped breakfast every morning at the park, and instead we brought the energy balls, some apples, and homemade banana bread that I had brought as well. And those were breakfast fill-ups each morning. The last thing I did was I wanted to make sure I could plan in advance all of the places that I could eat as a mostly vegan, sometimes vegetarian eater. So I downloaded the Disneyland app and I made sure I went through all of the restaurant offerings and food offerings that they have there at the park, at both parks really, and found some great options for me ahead of time. I also wanted to plan in advance how I wanted to eat and how I wanted to show up for my body. So for me, that meant, yes, while I am a vegan eater, I can make some exceptions here and there to eat in a more of a vegetarian way instead of a vegan way. So that was one promise I made to myself. The second promise I made to myself was I would listen to my body. And if something didn't feel right in my body, I wasn't going to continue to eat it. Conversely, if my body was begging to sit down and rest, my deal was I was going to listen to my body for that as well.
Meal planning doesn't have to be stressful. I've created the Busy Woman's 3-step meal planning guide to help you save time, eat healthier, and make meal prep effortless. It's totally free, and it's your first step toward stress-free eating. Grab your copy now. And if you're ready for personalized coaching, I've got a few spots left in my beta coaching program. Check it out while you're there.
So with all the prep done, time to hit the park. On day one, here was my strategy. First, I woke up and I had a protein shake to get as much protein in my body as quickly as possible, 20 grams in my shake. And then I filled up a little snack bag with our banana bread, our apple slices, and our energy balls, and got to the park. Also, before we even got into the car, I made sure that I was stretching my muscles, stretching my lower body, my hips, my hamstrings, my glutes, and my calves. So our first meal in the park was actually at the California Adventure, and I had a potato taco. Specifically, it's the vegan crispy potato taco at the California Adventure Park. So that plate came with two crispy potato tacos topped with, I believe it was like pickled onions or like a coleslaw type of thing, like a cabbagey type of topping and some salsa. There may have been a little dairy with that sour cream, and I'm not sure, but they did say it was vegan. So that was my lunch, and that was very filling and enjoyable. That was a very good first meal for me at the park. Then after riding a couple rides, we saw the churro stand, and my promise to myself was I was going to enjoy my trip. So I did eat the churro, the special churro. Every season they have a special type of churro. You can get a plain one, but you can also get a special one. And so this one was like a strawberry churro with some whipped cream on it, and that was delicious. Over at the Disneyland park, we hit the Star Wars area and we stopped at that cantina. It was the first time we'd been in there. And yes, I did. I got the jet juice, the Olga's jet juice. And that was really delicious. And one drink was all that I needed. We were ready to hit the rides some more. For dinner, we stopped at Main Street and I got a tomato soup grilled cheese sandwich combo. Now, that grilled cheese sandwich was full of cheese and it was delicious. It was lighting up all of the pleasure sensors in my brain because of all that cheese. But I will say it was too much cheese. It kind of started to hurt in my stomach. So I didn't quite finish that sandwich, but the tomato soup was amazing. That was delicious. So if I had to do that meal over again, I definitely would do something different. I would just get that tomato soup, maybe in a sourdough bowl or just sourdough on the side. Or I noticed that restaurant also had cups of fresh fruit. So I could have done that instead. And probably next time, I will definitely do that. Okay, so day one is done. Not too bad. Not great, but not bad. And definitely enjoyed myself. Didn't get too full on food. I was ready for day two. Day two, we did the same thing with our snacks for breakfast. And then we hit the park and started riding the rides. And by lunchtime, we were both pretty hungry. And so I did the mobile food order and I got the lentil chili bowl. It's in the sourdough bread and it's full of it's very vegan. It's lentils and soy rizo, and I noticed carrots were in there, all mixed up. It was really filling and delicious. And it was actually a cold day that day, so that really hit the spot. And riding some more rides and shopping and checking out all the sites, we needed a mid-afternoon sweet treat. And yes, we went with the Dole Whip. Now, the Dole Whip is 100% vegan. No worries there. It's just a sugar high, but that's okay. It's just the Dole Whip itself. It's in this little bowl and it's the perfect amount, perfect size. Don't sweat it. Indulge in that Dole Whip. Then for dinner, we had made reservations at the River Belle Terrace. So we ate there and they had on their menu, I think they had two plant-based options for me. And I chose the deviled meatball skillet. And it is basically grits or polenta with impossible meatballs on it. And then some kind of sauce. It was delicious and it was very filling. Fun fact, that River Belle Terrace also serves beer, wine, and cocktails. I remember back in the day when the only place you could get a drink, an alcoholic drink, would be at the Blue Bayou restaurant inside Pirates of the Caribbean. That's apparently no more. So that was my 2-day trip, and that's what I ate at Disneyland. The next time I come back, I've already scouted out some places and dishes that I want to try, but I want to point out that the Disney app you can sort for vegetarian items, and it'll give you a listing of restaurants inside the parks that have vegetarian items. I noticed though that some of the restaurants that have plant-based menu items were not listed in that sort. So you might not want to sort for that and just go through and skip all of the fruit stands and the snacks and go straight to those restaurants to see and look at their menus and see which ones have something that looks a little healthier for you. But don't rely just on that sort feature on the Disneyland app, because this is not including everything. Oh, and then the second thing I want to mention too is that whenever you're watching this video, the dish may have changed, and maybe that restaurant doesn't have the menu item that I'm describing. But I've noticed that if a restaurant has normally a plant-based menu item, they'll just rotate it with a different one. So you may not get a black bean burger somewhere, but they may have substituted it or changed it up with a falafel burger, for example. So do keep that in mind as well. So some of the meals that I have my eye on for my next trip down will be, I'm gonna butcher this name too. It's the Felucian Kefta garden salad at Docking Bay 7, and that's in Star Wars land. Also in the same spot is the Ronto-less garden wrap, and that is at Ronto's Roasters. The Pim Test Kitchen in California Adventure also has some plant-based meal items, and they had one called the Impossible Spoonful. I believe that is basically like a spaghetti with vegetables and impossible meatballs. And then at Tiana's Palace in Disneyland, there is a 7 greens gumbo dish that is also completely plant-based. And then, as always, there's lots of snack stands all over the parks, and many of them carry fresh fruit. So those are always options for you to fuel up as well. And those pretzels are going to be vegan too. So that was my trip, and I'm happy to report that I had no hip pain the entire time. So I think strengthening my hip muscles before the trip really was critical in helping me enjoy my trip. Also, all the stretching that I did first thing in the morning and then also throughout the day, waiting in lines, also I think really helped my hip as well. Another great tip is to not pay for bottled water at Disneyland. Every mobile order window that you see has cups of water that you can grab for free. Just go straight up to those mobile order windows and ask for water, and they will give you free water. It's a great way to stay hydrated throughout your day at the park. So there you have it, ladies, with a little bit of advanced planning and deciding on what your game plan is going to be while you're there and sticking to your game plan. You can enjoy a couple of days at Disneyland or wherever your vacation is guilt-free. As a matter of fact, I came back not only with no pain, but no weight gain either. And that means 0 guilt. So what are your tips for Disneyland and for traveling? Let me know in the comments. And if this video was helpful for you, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me grow. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you'd like some coaching help to plan for your next trip, contact me. I am happy to help. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week on Healthy Her Midlife.